Am I the butthole for not supporting my roommate financially for breaking my fast as a joke? English isn't my first language, so sorry in advance. Also throwaway cause we are friends with my other roommate on my normal account. Also English isn't my first language. So for context, I 19M, live in a 3+1 house with 2 other roommates as I'm going to college. I have some savings, so I pay most of the rent for one of my roommates P21. So on to the story. I am Muslim and I do fast during Ramadan. I also do the cooking in the house. On Saturday, I was cooking the dishes as I always did and I asked my roommate P what's the time, and he purposefully told me the time was 10 minutes later than it actually was, so assuming I could open my fast, I tasted the shrimp I was cooking cause they were P's fave and I wanted to do something for him. After that he bursts into laughter, telling me the real time and laughing with a hug gotcha face. I got mad, told him he could finish making dinner and from now on pay his own rent. I do think not helping him with rent when he is struggling financially might be a butthole move though, so Reddit, am I the butthole for no longer wanting to help my friend after he pulled a cruel joke on me? First of, you should not be paying this guy's rent in the first place with your own savings. Secondly, not the butthole. This is because your roommate played a cruel joke even if it was well intended. He showed a lack of respect towards your culture, and given you're literally paying the rent of a man 2 years older than you when you yourself are only 18, this guy is a joke. Edit. For those who don't understand, my point about the joke being well intended meant that the roommate may have believed he had good intentions making the joke. I wholeheartedly believe that it was not a joke, it was nothing other than an insult. You people seem to think I'm trying to justify this person's behavior. I am not. It is despicable what he has done. I cannot believe I have to make that clear. Shaking my head. Edit 2. Replace well-intended with harmless joke. Thanks to user Hikikomori, I am not for this. Edit 3. Thanks for all the upvotes guys. Glad to get my 6th top comment. Reddit link. Even if it was well-intended? Well-intended to make SNBD do SNTH, what is a sin in one's culture is well-intended? Edit. To edit. Edit. For those who don't understand, my point about the joke being well-intended meant that the roommate may have believed he had good intentions making the joke. I wholeheartedly believe that it was not a joke, it was nothing other than an insult. You people seem to think I'm trying to justify this person's behavior. I am not. It is despicable what he has done. I cannot believe I have to make that clear. Shaking my head. My dear friend, in the best case the roommate was ignorant. But it is cruel for me not to know how important is Ramadan for Muslims. Even if it was not religious, we live in a society with vegetarians, vegans, gluten-free, lactose-free, interval diet and thousands of other eating rules. Would you say, giving food with egg to a vegan, knowingly, could be a harmless joke? No, it is a butthole joke. It is not hurting physically, like if it was a food allergy, but still hurting on a mental level. And as far I could see from the comments, original poster would have to make an extra fasting day. Yes, even when it was not his fault. No, I am not Muslim, I had to learn it too. Perhaps the roommate was not hard racist, but disrespecting one's religious rules for a joke is at least a soft racism. Ignorance cannot be an excuse here. Edit 2. Some speakers use the term racism loosely to refer to prejudice or discrimination based not upon race but upon other factors. This is non-standard. 2017, Jennifer E. Cheng, Anti-Racist Discourse on Muslims in the Australian Parliament, ISBN. If there is no legally defined way to oppose racism towards Muslims, so yes, I use the term racism in the extended definition, which includes homophobia, religious intolerance or any other kind of prejudice or insulting a social group of people. I know, it is non-standard for now, but it becomes more and more standard in 21st CT. Web link. Is it so hard to type somebody in something? Why say many word when few do trick? Why use me later WNFW later do TRK? Legibility? Equality? Fee. Lesbian, gay, bi, lesbian, again, trans, yoga teachers? Lesbian, gay, bi, Libra, trans, Yankees. When me president, they see. they see. Kevin? Are you old enough to RMBRWN? We all typed THS way BCRPHNS didn't HBKBRDS and we HD2 took by cooking the BTTNS3X? Fun times. I'm definitely old enough, but nobody I knew typed like that. Right? I was fast enough on T9 that it didn't take me any extra time or effort to type things out. I only shortened words if I was being mindful of text length, so my text wouldn't add up to multiple text pages and cost extra money. Edit. Do y'all remember when our cell phones had antennas? Laughing out loud, mine was so big and bulky. My landline house phone is smaller than my first cell phone was, haha. It wasn't just because of the lack of full keyboard, it was because we used to be charged per text message. So a text was I think 160 characters long, and we'd all try really hard to keep everything below that limit. This joke is more than a sin. Original poster has to make up the fast for that day because he broke it before sunset. Not exactly. If the fast was broken on accident, it doesn't count as a broken fast. I guess it depends on what original poster's religious leader says, since strictures may be different for different denominations or places. SMBD is one of the more obnoxious things I've seen. And I write that fully knowing it makes me a grumpy old man who's irrationally annoyed. SMBD do SMTH. Okay, let's wrap it up, people. Society is over. Get your last orders in. We close in 10. I don't understand what part of that joke was well intended. None of it was. The roommate will have seen it that way though. I think you're giving the roommate too much credit here. He knew very well that this was not going to be laughed off as a joke. I feel like someone needs to explain to original poster that when someone is taking advantage of you, they will always try to convince you that you're the butthole when you question them. It is in original poster's selfish roommate's best interests in original poster to continue paying the roommate's rent and cooking the roommate's meals, so the roommate is going to act like original poster is completely out of line to consider stopping. Original poster needs to understand that he should not try to gauge what is correct by looking at his roommate's opinions on the matter, because the roommate is going to fight to continue to take advantage of original poster. I think you wording the well-intended part wrong. Not the butthole, but you are being taken advantage of. Stop paying his rent, full stop. And cooking him dinner. Yes. I think this may have been a calculated insult to the original poster and to his religion. It's a really horrible thing to do to anyone. I would be furious if I were the original poster. The original poster's roommate is a butthole. I cannot imagine how anyone would think what he did is okay, and I think very few people would behave like this. Original poster, please find a better roommate. Roommate does not respect the original poster, or his religion. Original poster, it's nice you have savings. Please reevaluate what that money is for. It's for things like if you get injured and cannot work. If you need help with tuition and rent. For your future. Don't cheat your future for someone who is willing to stand in your kitchen and disrespect your religious duty. He knew how important it was to you to observe. And if he didn't, losing your financial help will be the beginning of the lesson. Right. I also think it's safe to say the roommate would not contribute a dime to original poster if the situation ever got reversed and original poster needed help with rent or even cooking the meals. The roommate is using the crap out of original poster and being disrespectful on top of it, as if that wasn't bad enough. Original poster is being taken advantage of, and I hate seeing situations like that. I doubt this is the first instance of original poster being disrespected too. The joke seemed very cruel and malicious for an isolated incident. Poor original poster, I'm so sorry you were treated that way after all the nice things you've done. This 100%, the roommate doesn't have to try to make more money since he's got it easy having original poster pay for his rent. Maybe the roommate doesn't even need help and is just taking advantage of original poster just because he thinks he can. Especially at 19. With the rare exception of people who are independently wealthy, no one can afford to pay someone else's rent at 19. Original poster's savings need to be kept for school, medical emergencies, eventually getting his own place, etc. I'm an atheist and that guy is a butthole and his joke is disrespectful. Not the butthole. You're paying his rent, so he better worship the ground you walk on and make your life easier, not harder. That joke is disrespectful. Agreed, that's not what a joke is. Yep. It's only a joke if everyone, but especially the jokey, is laughing at the end. Otherwise it's just bullying. Regardless of if he was paying rent or not, making someone break their fast and go against their religion is disgusting. That's not a joke at all, that's just horrible. He might have to do another day at the end now to make up for it if he's strict, so that's another day for him feeling like crap fasting, down to his friend's joke. I feel really bad for original poster. Rumi is a dick, but it doesn't count as a broken fast if it was done on accident. But original poster does see it as a fast he was forced to break, and I think that's relevant especially in determining if he is at fault for refusing to pay rent any longer. I absolutely believe that original poster is not the butthole. It's important to have housemates who respect one's faith. My understanding of original poster's faith is that he will not be held accountable for being manipulated, and I hope he finds comfort in this. I also completely understand his motivation to prevent this situation from ever arising again and his feelings of betrayal. Not the butthole. Why are you paying another man's rent is beyond me. Also, he should be doing something nice for you and not the other way round. You sound nice but definitely gullible and naive. Be careful out there. I don't think he's gullible and naive. His culture is a very generous one. If you ask a practicing Muslim for help, even financially, and even an almost stranger, more than likely you will get it. They have a tradition of helping others. If he's paying another man's rent, he is. Charity is as important as fasting. This is the story about two virtues being broken by the roommate. In a lot of cultures, it's not common to embezzle money from your friends. Not the butthole, but your roommate sure is, and ungrateful to boot. People who pull this BS gotcha with other folks' religious requirements, allergies, vegan or vegetarian, et.al. are terrible. It's a cruel thing to do, it's not funny, and in some cases, particularly those who have food allergies, it can be dangerous. Let this be a hard lesson learned for him. If he gets evicted? Not your problem. But lock up your expensive stuff if you have any, so he can't steal and sell it once crunch time hits for him. Info: why are you paying rent for your roommate? Also, why is original poster in charge of cooking for the entire flat? Seems like they're being exploited, possibly since they're younger? To me, it kind of implies that the roommate thinks ops faith itself is sort of a joke. Don't worry, original poster. Your fast doesn't broken. Because you genuinely don't know about the time and someone purposefully sabotaging it. Just act like you forgot you're fasting and accidentally drink water. You know the rules, and so do I. Interestingly, it's not quite as simple as an accidentally/forgetfulness broken fast. He broke his fast intentionally while fully remembering that he was fasting. The timing was where the mistake was made. There are two opinions. 1. The fast is incomplete and there's no sin and no fidya/kafara penalty due, but the fast needs to be made up after Ramadan. 2. It can be treated as a forgetfully broken fast and no sin and no need to make it up so long as the fast was continued to the correct time once the realization happened. My wife did this just a couple of days ago, so we looked into it. I'm more into the latter. You can't be blamed for something you don't know. Like you eat something without knowing it has pork, so it's okay. But that's not an excuse for ignorance. Yeah, if you genuinely think it's iftar time, then it's an accidental breaking of fast. He broke his fast because he was late to about the time. How is that not accidental? You know the rules, and so do I. A full commitment's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. Love this Rick Fastly song. As an Orthodox Jew who is only familiar with the basics of Ramadan, as in I know when it falls and I know to not offer food to a Muslim during the day, I find this fascinating to read the different opinions on if this is considered as if his fast was broken or not, but wouldn't the correct answer be to discuss this with a scholar who is knowledgeable in this area? Asking to understand, not stop the debate or implying that it shouldn't be discussed here. And just to make it clear, the original poster is not the butthole. One's faith and observance is not something that should be used as a joke, especially if by doing so you are harming their soul by potentially causing him to sin, something that ultimately I am going to guess the roommate doesn't understand, since even I, someone who respects that you don't do this, didn't fully grasp how this could affect the original poster. Info: why on earth are you paying his rent? Seriously, there's a pretty huge line between living out your beliefs and letting people take advantage of your generosity and becoming a doormat. Not the butthole, massive breach of trust and a dick move, plus you never had a moral obligation to pay for his rent. F with the piggy bank, it might just leave. Not the butthole. I don't care who you are, doing jokes like that is a huge move. It's disrespectful and just wrong, especially since you're helping him pay his part of rent and cooking for them. Not the butthole. What he did was incredibly disrespectful. Info: why are you paying his rent in the first place? Not the butthole. I'm sorry, brother. I'm a Muslim, too. Inshallah, your fasting is still accepted because you didn't know. Not the butthole. You need a new friend. He doesn't respect you or your beliefs. I'm sorry he tricked you into breaking your fast. He needs to find a new person to leech off of. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.